You see this right here? This video took 1 year to make. All right, let's go. So before I tell you guys why it took so long to make this video, which you might have a clue of if you've seen some of my videos in the past. Now, if you guys have been watching the videos for a very long time, you know that there's a place here in Guam I like to go to once a week usually to get a little treat for myself. You may have thought I was going to Island Girl because it's right here. No. Can I do a 20-ounce Thai tea, please?
I'm sorry, we're actually out for today.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if the other location has it?
Let me just double check.
Okay. They don't have my drink. Let's try one more time. Hello. Can I have a 20-ounce Thai tea, please? It was a little bit of an adventure to try to get my once-a-week drink here. Thai tea, if you guys don't know. Delicious from Barisco. So as I said, it took me a year to make this video about this camera, centered around this camera. I've said it before, but as you can see, this is a Fujica pocket flash. It's a very old camera. It's from, I think, 1980s. You can see here, the battery door is all messed up. This tag is still there. You can see $50. That's what I paid for it. You can probably find it online for much cheaper. But the reason why it took me so long to make this is because it is an old school film camera. In fact, you open up the back door, you put the film in, you take some shots, and you develop them, right? Well, I bought this camera from a very cool cafe here called C41. You might not know about it, but those watching from Guam probably do know about it, as it is one of Guam's latest cafes, newest cafes, and it's probably one of the best, to be honest. But this video is about this camera, the pictures I took, developing them, and also that cafe. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the shots that I took, the ones that I developed in the quality of film. To be 100% honest, I'm a real beginner when it comes to film cameras. I use mostly modern cameras. I use my phone a lot for photos and stuff, so I don't use these old school stuff that often. And I'm trying to get more into it, but I want to show you my experience. And so as you guys are probably familiar with, film cameras have really just made a comeback in the last, 10-ish years probably. There's a lot of those instant ones, the Polaroids that pop out the photo for you, ones like these that you have to go and develop. It's just really cool using these types of cameras, as it gives you that nostalgia and you feel like you're back in time, I guess, right? But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the shots that I took. Some of you guys might remember some of these shots because from my last videos here in Guam, I took the camera out, took some shots, and I'm going to show you those photos, how they came out, as you only saw me taking the photo. But then I'm going to show you the shots that I took on this camera, just kind of all around. Some here in Guam, as I said, some on my travels and stuff like that, and some that just didn't come out very good. And that's the cool thing about using film cameras. It takes a lot of experience. You really have to learn how to use them, and you have to be very wise about your shots, as it's pretty expensive, you know. If you make a lot of shots and they're just not that good, you're kind of wasting money, but you're learning. And I'm going to talk to you about the cafe, and then I will give you guys like an honorable mention of another new cafe here in Guam that I do like. Has nothing to do with cameras, but I think it's worth featuring, as it's always cool to see something new pop up in Guam. Welcome to C41 Film and Coffee. Here's about a minute worth of the coolest cafe in Guam. Now that you guys know about C41 and what it's like, and you can see the inside, the visuals, the atmosphere, the vibe, right? As I said, I bought this one from there. They have other ones like, you know, these are the kind of just grab a cheap camera, take a lot of shots, develop it, and throw the camera out. Disposable cameras, right? They sell these there, and then all sorts of other options. So if you are looking to get into film cameras or you want something secondhand here in Guam, it's the place to go, because here in Guam, there really isn't much for camera options. Actually, I don't even know where you can buy a lot of cameras, especially new ones like I have. Mine's over $1,000 here, but I bought this outside of Guam when I was outside of Guam. And maybe you can get lucky on Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. But yeah, if you're looking for film cameras, head over to C41, great place. Now, let's talk about the shots I took. So here at C41, like I still have the whole film package, the receipt. When it comes to developing your film, it will cost a certain price depending on your film. Now on here, you can actually see what kind of film I have. So as you can see, the film type is 110 that I got. And the color, it's a color option, so not black and white photos. So it's gonna range depending on your film. And when you get your film developed, this is what happens. I actually didn't really know. I've never developed film before, so I thought maybe they develop it and then they give me the photos, right? But what they do is they give you this. This is your film. This is what's inside of the camera. This is what they pull out, you know. How the film process goes, I really don't know, because I don't know about films. I just kind of took pictures and tried it out. But as you can see here, it's really hard to see because they're so small, but this is your original film. And so you pay to have that developed, but what they do is they get the photos from this and they put it into digital format. So you can access it by your phone, computer, put it on the social media, stuff like that. And then after that, you can take those photos and you can actually print them into hard copies. Now, depending on where you get your film developed, maybe there's certain photo types or photo sizes that you can get. Well, at C41, I noticed the smallest option was the standard picture size, you know, and I noticed at C41, the standard print size is 4x6. So I have the receipt for my pictures I printed, so I can show you exactly how much that is. But as I said, here is my receipt. The scan, the actual film, it costs $25 for me. So the camera was $50 and to develop the film was $25. So that's just to get all the film in digital. And then you'll see here what I have is the film I developed. This camera takes a total of about 23-ish shots, I believe. I'm not sure exactly how much the number is, as I just kept taking photos and then I thought it was done, so I developed it. And so after I got the film developed, they sent it to my email with all the digital copies and I had 23 shots. So I'm guessing this camera just takes 23 shots. Some of them weren't pretty good, but I'm going to show you now. Here's all the ones that I printed. This is the standard 4x6 as I just mentioned. And what I like to do is I always just write on my photo the date and maybe the location wherever it was taken. So if I'm looking back on these photos in 15 years or something like that, I can be like, man, where was that? I don't remember. I have it there to remember. But as you can see here, let's see, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 shots. So I only chose to print 10 shots of the 23 because the other 13, I have them digitally, that's fine. But I feel like they just weren't that good of a photo for me to print and maybe hang up or put in a frame. Can't forget about my drink here. But as I should mention, I said this camera here takes a very specific film. It is called 110. And if you look it up, I'll show some pictures here on the screen. 110 is very old looking film. It's not like a Polaroid, it's just very retro, very, I don't know how to describe it. The quality just doesn't look so great. It gives you this quality that is very different from all other film. And I don't know much about film, as I said, but this one was pretty unique. And I don't think I'm going to probably buy another film for this camera. I think I'm going to put this on the shelf as a nice little decoration and get a different film camera and try something different. I printed 10 photos. They're all 4x6. The receipt is right here. As you can see, it cost me $10. So to develop one photo is $1 a photo. Some of you might say that's really expensive. It probably is. It's probably cheaper somewhere else in the States, but it's here on the island. It's a unique place, and it's a shot you really wanted to see, so it's worth it. Let's take a look at the photos. They're in no particular order, and I'm going to tell you about them and yeah, everything that I think about these shots. First one. As you can see, the first shot here is on Guam. This is the south of the island. As you can see here, it actually says Mauricio Pier. And I took this shot this year in the beginning of this year. Mauricio Pier, looking to the south, that is Coco's Island. And man, this was an interesting one because when I took the shot, there's these coconut trees there, there's the pier, there's the island, and I was trying to make it look very scenic into where the pier was the focus, but it was kind of hard because the way the coconut trees were positioned. So as you can see, there is one coconut tree that's just kind of blocking the shot, but still pretty cool. The second photo here is from my last trip to Southeast Asia, where I went to Vietnam. And this is particularly in the north of Vietnam. As you can see, I'm on like these canoes, and I'm taking a shot of the people that actually row the canoes for you to tour around this area. This is an area called Ninh Binh in northern Vietnam, south of Hanoi. But as you can see, a lot of tourists are in the background, and I was really excited to see how this shot would come out. This looks really cool. As you can see, it's pretty grainy looking, but man, this was an exciting one when I took my camera on this boat trip. So there's actually a few of them here you're gonna see, like the next one here. This might be my favorite shot from the camera. As you can see, you got a picture of one boat with the tourists there, and then you got the like mountains just kind of coming out in the background. And man, it's a beautiful shot. This is Ninh Binh, and yeah, as you see, that is 2025. But I just like the way this shot looks, where it's dark on the sides and then the light opens up in the middle. And I didn't know how this shot was going to come out, to be honest. And it's actually really funny because I took my camera and I was like, man, I don't even know if I have the settings right and all that, but look at that, the shot did come out good. But I do want to point this out. You can see the people that are steering the canoes here. They have these jackets, and there's a little circle in it. That is a circulating jacket that actually blows cold, or I don't know how it does it. It just blows regular air into the jacket, but it helps you stay cool because, you know, they're rowing the whole time. And man, I don't know how they do it. They row like a bunch of people, and these Vietnamese people are so small, but it was really cool. Next up is another shot I took when I was in Vietnam. This is actually from my hotel when I was staying on the West Lake in Hanoi, Vietnam, 2025. I just really liked looking out the window towards the other side of the lake where all the buildings are, some hotels and apartments and stuff. And man, this one was just so cool. Every day, like if I wasn't out in the streets yet, or I wasn't wandering around Hanoi, I would just be sitting near the window looking out. And I know this is going to be a really cool photo to look back on in time. And actually, I wouldn't mind blowing this photo up a little bit bigger, but the lighting on it isn't the best. It's a little dark looking, but that is okay because, like I said, this is all trial and error. I'm getting used to film. Next up is from another place in Vietnam, Ninh Binh. As you'll see, a lot of the photos I decided to print are from Vietnam because I took this camera so far away from Guam, and I had to make these shots worth it. So I wanted to get a little bit of something out of these shots. But this one is Ninh Binh too. This is another area, like there's the one where you can go on the river, and then there's these stairs you can hike up to the top of the mountain. They have a lying dragon that people go up there to see. It is really cool. It's a workout to get up there because there's so many steps. They're so steep. They're not your average steps. And I've showed them in a video too, which the video didn't do that well, but as you can see here, it is a fantastic place to visit in northern Vietnam, and I definitely recommend going. That shot is at the stairs. That's kind of looking from down a little bit, but then there's this shot, which is actually from at the top when I climbed all the way up, and then you can look back to where you came from and you can see like the rice paddy areas. There's lotus flower fields, and then you can see like the little village there. This is a really cool shot too, because when you look all the way out, you just can't really see. It's almost like it's smoggy and almost like there's a storm out there, but that's just the quality of the film, because when I was there, you could see pretty far. But this is another shot that I really liked, and I wouldn't mind blowing up bigger. Okay, so next up is also, I think this might be the first shot I actually took on the camera. I'm not exactly sure when I took it, 2025 or 2026 maybe. Maybe it's not the first shot, but this is my cat here, and he's a really cool boy, and I just like the way he looks. And then I thought, oh, it'd be nice to take a photo of him and have that forever as well. And the funny thing is, I thought I took the photo with him in the entire frame, but I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't have him centered. And that's the whole thing about film cameras, is you take a shot and you think it's good, but then you find the photo and you're like, oh, I was off. Or maybe when I pressed the button, I shook or moved the camera. So it really takes some time getting used to. A couple more shots here. The next one is here in Guam. This is Fort Nuestra Senora de la Soledad. And this is down south. I think it's the village of Umatak or something like that. It's when I went around the island. This is actually, I'm taking the photo out of a very historic viewpoint, actually, which used to be like a guard tower where they can look out for enemy ships and invaders and stuff like that. They can shoot out of there. And next to here were some cannons and stuff. But this is looking north in Guam. This is looking up the island. And I was like, man, this would be a really cool shot. And I had no idea how it was gonna come out. But as you can see, with the darkness around it and then the light coming through, it was a really cool shot. So this is one that I was really hoping would be a nice shot, and it came out just perfect. So this is another one that I would like to blow up bigger if I can. Second to last photo here is in the north of Guam. This is the other side of the island. So this is almost to the tip of the north, but I was on the eastern side of the island, and I was at the cliff side, and I was looking more north. So here, you can't really tell, but this is actually the northern coastline where the military is. And you can't see any military in this photo, so that's the good thing. And yeah, you can just see how the geography of this island is. Like, it's got rigid coastline with these limestone cliffs, and then the foliage all around it and stuff, and it kind of like just cascades down. It's really difficult to hike down and hike up in some places, which you can do, but this side of the island is just super beautiful, and it's more natural and untouched, and the water is quite rough on that side. So this one is really cool as well too, but I would like to see how this came out on a better camera that has just a little bit more modern quality, but still the shot is very unique, and I like that one. And then the last one, the last shot finally is a weird one because it's of myself, and I don't really like selfies. I never take selfies, but I was like, you know what? This would be a good shot to look back on. And as you can see, it's just a selfie of myself in that same area looking north. Yeah, it's kind of awkward, I don't know. But as you can see, the camera is pretty close to my face, and that's because this camera here has a lens of 20, what does it say? 20 millimeter wide. So it's not very good for close shots. Actually, in fact, if you want to do selfies and stuff, I think the distance is like 15 or something like that. I'm not a selfie person. This lens here that I'm filming on actually goes all the way down to 17 millimeters. So as you can see, where the camera is, it's about 3.5 feet from me, and it gets my whole body because of it being a 17 millimeter. So this is 20 millimeter. So I guess that would be something like if it was in front of the camera, and then as you can see, it's just not gonna get the whole shot. And it was still a pretty unique shot, and I do like this one, but I can tell you that this shot is not something I'm trying to hang up. I'm just gonna keep it and be like, Oh wow, that's what I looked like when I was young, huh? And now I'm just old and boring, but. All right, so there it is. Those are my shots that, I've been waiting forever to develop and to be able to see how they actually came out. This video took about a year to make because I bought this camera when C41 just opened. I think it was open just for a month so far, and I bought this, and I don't even remember when it was, but I think it was sometime around last summer. Filming this video right now, it's almost July, so it took a long time to get these shots developed. And most of that is because I was very picky about what I was going to take a shot of, and I wanted it to be very unique. But now that I developed the film, and now that I can see that type of film 110 is just very rustic and just not the best, of course, but it is unique, and some people probably really love that quality, that grain and stuff. But I want to try something different. So this camera is probably going to go up on the shelf for a while. Maybe I'll use it again someday, but I do want to get into another camera. And as I said, I don't know much about film cameras. So if you guys know anything about film cameras, definitely recommend them to me. There was another one here at the C41 cafe, and I was thinking about getting, but last time I went in there, it was sold. And that's because here on the island, as I said, it's hard to find film cameras. So when something cool comes out, or they have something, it usually gets bought up pretty quick. So you have to be very quick when it comes to buying film cameras there and stuff. But some of them do sit for a while, because you will see some film cameras for a few $100s. There's a couple that are way more expensive than that. But yeah, those are film cameras, and that's C41, cool cafe here in Guam. Definitely check it out. It's got everything, and it's very unique. And those are my shots. But now I want to talk about the honorable mention and the other cafe here in Guam that's definitely worth checking out. So as I mentioned to you guys, I wanted to give you an honorable mention in terms of cafes here in Guam. There's a lot of cafes if you do your research. In terms of like actual locations of just cafes, I mean, it's got to be somewhere around 50, I would imagine, but there are maybe 15 or something different ones, something like that. But here in Guam, a new one opened maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, something like that. I'm not sure exactly when, but I've been a couple of times. It's in the north here. It's called Cafe O Lake. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's ran by a woman who everyone looks up to in terms of the people that work there, and they look at her as like the mama or something. I saw something like that posted on the new social media account, so that's as much as I really know about the ownership of it. But I've been in there before a couple times. The people that work there, they're very friendly, and also the ambiance, the setting, just the atmosphere in there is very calm, relaxing, and quiet. And they have a lot of different drink options. They have some different food options, a lot of comfortable seating where you can hang out, chat with friends. Maybe you can work, do some schoolwork, stuff like that. They have games and all that, but it's a really cool cafe that opened up here. And as I said, I've been a couple times. I've had a few drinks. In terms of cafes, every place has its signature options and stuff. The signature options there are really great. I've tried some of them. And the pricing is pretty much on par with all the other cafes around here. So in terms of affordability and stuff like that, it's pretty much the same, I think, as many other ones like C41. A lot of their drinks are over $6. And but yeah, I just wanted to give a quick shout out about Cafe O Lake, as it's a very cool cafe. You guys should check it out if you're in the area. It's in the northern side of Guam. It's on the northern western side of Guam. So it's actually pretty quick to get to if you are staying pretty central and stuff like that. It's not all the way in the north, but it is towards the north, and definitely check it out. But yeah, that is my experience at C41 and buying a film camera and getting used to it, because it's really cool. And I wish I did it earlier, but I never really got into it. I had some friends that were into it, but I was so stuck with these digital cameras like I have now, the big lenses and stuff like that. But film cameras are pretty cool, and as you can see, they're really making a comeback everywhere, and they tell a good story, you know? So I think I'm gonna go buy one soon. I'm gonna check out C41 again, see what they have, or order online if I can, if it can ship here. Will take a long time, but it's really worth the experience. As you can see, my film camera I bought, the film I developed and all that, it was like almost $100 for that whole experience. And I think it's totally worth it as you get a lot out of it. Like mine, I have stories from Guam, stories from Vietnam and stuff like that. So next time I travel again, I'm hoping to get another one, bring it with me and stuff like that. And let me know if you guys have recommendations. What kind of film camera should I check out? I want to try something different. So yeah, enough rambling. That's the end of this video and something different. And I'll see you guys soon from somewhere here in Guam. Probably here in Guam. Peace out. Since you made it all the way to the end of the video, if you haven't done so already, give this video a like, and the YouTube algorithm thinks you'll like this next video, so click here.